Hey, let me show you another great way that you can use Photoshop for titles. In this case, I have an intro video to my driving in Bogota type of video, and you can see we can watch it here. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to watch the video for a little bit, then I want to find an interesting spot. Let's see, where's the interesting spot? Maybe right here where this horse is. Get a nice composition here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal a frame from this video and I'm going to bring it into Photoshop and I'm going to put my title over top of it. So I'll stop my video here. Looks it's at 24, right here, 24 seconds here, somewhere around there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on, I'm in QuickTime Player. So what I did was I opened up my video inside of QuickTime Player. Then basically, just right-clicked and open it in QuickTime Player. Then I can go under Edit. I can go under Edit, Copy. Then I can go into Photoshop, and I can say Edit, Paste, and it'll paste it in there. If you want, you could start with a new blank document. I might start with a new blank document. So I'll go File, New, make a new one. Now, when you copy and paste from the frame of video to Photoshop, Photoshop should recognize and put the right dimensions in there, the 1920 by 1080, because that's what my video footage is. And then it'll give you a blank one, and then you can paste by going under Edit, Paste. So again, you can just start with a new one, File, New, Edit, Paste. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to pause the video at this point in the video, maybe add some effects to it. What kind of effects do I want to add? Maybe I'll add a filter to this, some nice, maybe I'll add some filters to this picture, make it look a little bit interesting here. And then put some title over there, put some text in there. And of course I don't want to use this horrible yellow here. I'm going to use nice black text. And so again, using all my Photoshop effects that I have here, so I'm going to kind of make it nice and big here. Put it up in the corner up at the top here. And then I think, so I scaled a little bit, put some text in there. Remember, I downloaded a nice font. So I'm going to put a nice little effect on my text here. Maybe put an outer glow on there again under the effects window. In the layers window under FX here, there is some effects you can do. Might give itself a nice big outer glow here so it stands up from the background there. In fact, you can animate these effects inside of Photoshop by using there's animation settings in Photoshop, but right now I'm just trying to get a nice title here. So again, what I have is I have my Photoshop file and my my picture that I applied an effect to. Again, I have my title and my background. Again, it's just a frame of the video that I copied again from QuickTime. Again, it's right there in QuickTime. Again, the copy is under Edit, Copy. So I can edit, copy, and then go right into Photoshop and edit, paste, and apply any of my effects I want there. So then I can go underneath and save this. This time I'm going to save it not as a PNG, but make sure I'm going to save it as a Photoshop file because I'm going to bring it into I'm going to bring it in as a Photoshop file into Premiere. So again, a nice sort of effect there, stealing a frame from the video. Next, I'm going to go back to Premiere here, and I'm going to import that video because I don't know where the original is. So I'm going to import that one that I stole the picture from, which I know is on my desktop here, my messy desktop here. Oh, if I can find it. Maybe not. I thought it was on the desktop. So again, I took a frame of the video. It wants me to save it, cancel. I have it on the desktop already. Oh jeez. There it is. Yeah, it is on the desktop. Okay, so I'm back into Premiere. Let's see if we can get it in now. I'm going to import it in. It doesn't recognize it. So we might have to quit and open up the program. Oh, I'm in the movies folder, no wonder. So on the desktop here, I have my video. So I'm going to bring in that video. Next, I'm going to bring in the Photoshop file. If I can find that. And so when you bring in a Photoshop file, a PSD, it's going to ask you this question inside of Premiere and ask you, what do you want to do? It says, do you want to merge layers, individual layers, or a sequence? So all these, and a little bit later on we'll learn about the sequence one. I use that a lot. But for right now, if you merge layers, it's going to squish them all down on the one layer, so my title will be squished in with the frame of video. If I say individual layers, it allows me to choose these and bring them in separately, which I want to do, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit OK. What it'll do is it'll bring in a folder, and inside that folder I'll have both my picture as well as my text separately, which I want to do because I'm going to use those separate images inside of Premiere. So again, I'm going to make more interesting kind of text here of a title. So let me make a new sequence here. I'm inside of Premiere. I go under File, New Sequence, and I'm going to make a new sequence. Next, I'm going to put my video in. So I have my video that I was using. I'm going to make sure I use my video at the same settings. So again, we have a video that kind of starts out. Maybe we want to put our sound in there. I'm going to put my sound in there if I can find my music. I had some music. Here it is. I don't know if I want to deal with the sound of the traffic here. So again, we have our video. It's the beginning of our video here. Now remember, around 24 seconds is where our still image was. I'm going to try and find that spot, and I'm going to cut the video right there and then insert my. So I'm going to try and find where that same frame was. I probably could have wrote it down. It's probably right about there. Yeah, exactly, right about there. And what I'm going to do is in Premiere you can cut it, and any of the programs inside of iMovie, there's one that says split frame. So I'm going to cut it right here by using this razor blade tool inside of Premiere. I'm going to split it right there, and then I'm going to move this video down a little bit. So this is the second part of the video, and I'm going to import my picture that I had. And so you'll see what we got so far. Again, the video's going along. It kind of stops right there. I might fade it in there because that might be a nice fade. I don't know if I'll be able to fade that. Let's just, no, that's not going to look right, but that's okay. We'll kind of just cut it right there. And we'll put our title in, and again we'll have that slowly fade in. The easy way to have that slowly fade in is to use again in the effects window inside of Premiere. Under there's a cross dissolve. I use that all the time to fade things in as well as fade things off. So that's a little bit long. I might shorten this down just a hair here, shorten this down a little bit, and then put my clip back in. So again, it's an easy way where you can steal a frame of video, bring it into Photoshop, make some manipulations, make a kind of nice little title, and then splice it back in. So here we go. So again, we got our dog running here, we got our video, stops, our title fades in, holds for a second, fades out, and it starts going again. So that's just a simple little title effect. I just want you to get to know how to steal or take a frame from the video, put it in Photoshop, and then you can do some manipulations and then stick it in between. I can do the exact same thing that I just did here in iMovie. And in fact, let me try and show you that in iMovie. So let me save this here. So I can do something very similar in iMovie. I'm just used to Premiere, but in iMovie you can do the same kind of thing. I just don't know about bringing the Photoshop file into iMovie. You might have to save it as the PNG, and you know, in iMovie, not all the you know, everything is straightforward like it is, I think, inside of Premiere, where everything is a little bit more easier to recognize what to do, because the timeline and the interface is a little bit better designed. And then iMovie has all these, you know, I have a whole, you know, iMovie is very messy. So I'm going to start with a new movie in iMovie. So under File, New. Okay, I'm going to say No Theme here in iMovie. I'm going to give it a name. Just call it Bogota. And of course, we can import our clips. I'm going to import my clip from the desktop. So import my clip from the desktop. Here it is. I can simply take the entire thing by dragging it all over top of it, highlighting it all inside of iMovie. You just highlight it all by dragging over top of all of it. I'm going to drag it all into the timeline down below here in the timeline. Oh, we should put our music in, but I don't know where that music is on my computer. We could always steal some music from we can always steal some music from iTunes. So I'm going to click on my iTunes here. I don't know what I have in here. I guess we could put some Colombian music in here if I have some. There we go. Don't know which one's the best. We can listen to it. Ooh, definitely not that. I don't know what that was. Just a little too slow. Again, you have iTunes down here, and so whatever you have in your iTunes. Here's some Colombian music. There we go. So I can drag that into the timeline. So there we go. We got it in the timeline. So what we have right now, again, is we got. Now you can't hear the music because of the sound in here. So if I select my audio, video footage inside of iMovie, you can actually go to the sound option, I believe, here, and turn it down all the way. I think that's the easiest way to get around it, and so then you can just hear the music. There you go. So again, if you select your video footage in the timeline in iMovie, there's an audio button right here in the top volume option, and just turn the volume down. It just kind of turns the sound off of your video clip, because I don't want that sound. I just want the scratching music. So now I'm going to look for the spot where the horse was there. So again, I'm going to look for the spot where the video stopped, right about there. Frame 23, 24, I think it was. So right around there. I think that's right. It's hard for me to know exactly what frame I'm on. In this maybe it was right about there. So again, I'm going to stop it where it's at. Inside of iMovie, you can do what's called you can split clip right here. It's under modify split clip. It's kind of like the razor blade that I had inside of Premiere. And then I could, again, just like I did in Premiere, I could move this down a little bit. Oh, I guess it's not going to let me move it. It's not as easy. But I can import my picture that I had. And so let's import. There's an import option. And let's go and find my picture if I can here. Once I find my picture and I can bring it in to I just don't know if it'll actually let me bring the Photoshop file in. We'll see. Yeah, it does, but it doesn't separate them like I had where I had both of them. Brings it in as one file, but we can squeeze that in between the two video clips here, and it pushes that one down. So again, it's kind of the same effect. Oh, and then you got your Ken Burns effect, which you can actually turn off. If I could figure out how to do that, add freeze frame, adjust. No, I didn't want to adjust. Add freeze frame. No, that's not going to work. I think I have it. So to get rid of this zooming effect in this version of iMovie, I know older iMovies it was a different way of doing it. For now, again, if you click on it, you can go to the adjust, and then the crop, and then there's the Ken Burns effect right here, and crop to fill, fit. There we go. Let's see if that works. Yeah, there we go. So again, to turn off that Ken Burns effect, it's under adjust, the crop here, and then once I clicked on there, I hit fit, and then now it doesn't animate automatically when I am doing it. So I can do something similar like I just did here inside of that I did in Premiere, inside of iMovie. If you time it right, I don't know if I got it right here. So I don't know. I just wanted to make sure you understood how to take a frame of video and import it in. So that was a kind of an effect. I don't know if my timing was a little bit off here, but that's one way you can do it. Again, think of making a little bit more interesting titles than just the plain text effects that you have inside of iMovie, or the text effects you have inside of Premiere or Movie or wherever. Try and make more interesting titles. Best to do it in Photoshop or something like that.